trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. Doesn't sound quite... Not quite. There we go. Well, it says... Oh, no, hold on. Okay, no, it sounds where it says we're okay. I think we're okay. Okay, so... E-mini recovered and died overnight. Oh, that's super weird. It's all of it is super weird, guys. The market, to me, the market is behaving weird. Let's pull this one over. Oh, so this should be here. There we go. So the E-mini opened up at its close. Is that? No, this isn't right. 9th. This is wrong. Hold on a second.
Has been
Okay, I think I fixed everything. And I posted the links in here. Oop, hold on, I need to change. Okay, I think I fixed everything. Need to kill that. Oh, guys. It's a day already, isn't it? Okay. Yes, all right, so yesterday we had this move down, and that was the one that we kind of caught, and then it went back on us, and now we're even a little bit higher. And we're retracing pretty significant levels here. 11 in particular in ZB is big, and 13 are big resistance points. I think I want to go short here. Except for that the E-mini is just getting obliterated. What's going on? Okay, so let's check the news because something is up. Where are we at on the longer term chart? I see. I see. So they may be looking at an inverse head and shoulders, but that could totally trick people out and just go lower. They didn't quite make it as high. That's interesting. That's interesting. And here in Treasuries did not. I'm finding this to be a pretty big resistance point as well. Well, in ZF, they are not quite. They are signaling higher, aren't they? Some interesting behavior there in the spreads as well. Okay. So we're going to hold off. I see some potential turnaround points, but I think that they could keep going here. Yes, today is a holiday for Canada, right? Yes. And let's pull up our news. Let's see what we got this week. I don't think there's a whole lot on the docket for this week. Well, there's nothing today, except for that it is a bank. Oh, it's a bank holiday in the U.S. too. Oh, it's Veterans Day, of course. Of course. Veterans Day. There is CPI though. So CPI is going to be the big one, because then we find out if the what did we get on Friday? We got PPI, Producer Price Index. So we find out if that's going over to consumers, then that would be a really big deal. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna type here a little bit. Okay. Well, the thing I'm noticing, I just posted here in chat, is that when we look at ZF here, I'll zoom it in a little bit. You kind of have this resistance point here that's hit a couple of times that they've passed. And you kind of got this one coming up here. This one, and then this one, and then this one. So I'm always looking for the edges of the ranges and the single prints. like this right here. So when you look at it in ZF, it's not entirely clear. They may have a little bit more to go. When I look at it in ZB, they're like right at the single print right there. See? The 1314, and they're not going through it. In ZN, it's a little bit more like ZF. ZN is not quite at a clear area either. So, when the treasuries disagree with each other, it's not usually a good trade. You tend to be more range bound. I think that we might see that. I think that the 5-year may continue to push us up if the E-mini decides that they're going to continue going down. Now, they just kind of pulled back, so they may stop there. This might be a good place to go short ZB. But I'm going to be a little bit more cautious on this one if we take it. Because it's like 100% what the E-mini decides to do. What's going on here in the Bitcoin? Why is the trading view price of Bitcoin $100 different than Kraken? It feels rigged. Well, you know what? We should reload this data too, because that one doesn't look right either. Well, I think that the recent action in Bitcoin has more to do with Bitcoin Cash than it does Bitcoin. Of course, it's hard to know for sure, but sure seems like Bitcoin Cash was the one that's moving up, and it seems like people are gathering ammo for war. So that's not necessarily something I would want to get involved in. You know what I mean? So reading on their subreddit, they're saying that this Craig Wright guy, who claims to be Satoshi, and somebody says he produced the signatures to prove that he was Satoshi, but he never sent a transaction. Like, that's my whole thing, is like, if you really wanted to prove that you were Satoshi, you would just send the transaction. Anyways, and he's saying that he will take his mining, he'll fork, and he will take his mining and he will use it to attack the other chain and send fraudulent transactions. So and then he's saying they're going to take that and they're going to go and attack altcoins and force them all over to the Bitcoin Cash chain. And this guy just sounds absolutely insane. And I don't think it's going to work. Because if you prove that you can do that, You've completely undermined the entire idea of cryptocurrency. They would have to fix it somehow. They have to prevent the 50+1 attack. So I don't know what's going to happen. That might provide us with a really good buying opportunity, but yeah, for now I would stay away from it. Okay, well, we're just sitting here. It's only 6:30. It's only been 10 minutes. 15 minutes, I guess. We started, early. But not a lot of action. So I don't think we're going to get much of anything today. Oh, Donald Trump tweeted about. Let's see, what did you say? Just returned from France, where much was accomplished in my meetings with world leaders. Never easy, bringing up the fact that the U.S. must be treated fairly, which it hasn't on both military and trade. We pay for large portions of other countries' military protection, hundreds of billions of dollars, for the great privilege of losing hundreds of billions of dollars with these same countries on trade. I told them that the situation cannot continue. It is and always has been ridiculously unfair to the United States. Massive amounts of money spent on protecting other countries, and we get nothing but trade deficits and losses. It is time that these very rich countries either pay the United States for its great military protection or protect themselves, and trade must be made free and fair. Get a mosquito in here of some sort. Or it doesn't actually look like a mosquito, it looks like a gnat. I wonder how it got in here. And then he also said Florida elections should be called in favor of Rick Scott and Ron DeSantis, in that large numbers of new ballots showed up out of nowhere, and many ballots are missing or forged. An honest vote count is no longer possible. Ballots massively infected must go with election night. Well, I don't know how I feel about that, but I do find it super suspicious, the things that are going on in Florida. Super suspicious is the best that I can put it, because I don't want to get conspiratorial, right? But it would sure make me feel better if there was an investigation. It's a little interesting. We have a bank holiday, but the E-mini is moving as much as it did. But of course, we're like completely dead. So yeah, we got that. What else do we got going on here? We got some stuff going on in the lobby. What are they talking about in here? I'm no profitable trader. My statement was made in standpoint of having gone down the rabbit hole myself and reading all that esoteric mumbo jumbo. Okay, this guy's setting up for Sierra charts. Yeah, Keith had a really good setup that he was sharing with everybody, but I don't know where he's been. Maybe he got fed up with me losing all the time and was like, well, I'm not gonna hang around here with these losers anymore. Or maybe this most recent crazy action was not so good for him. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. Dun, 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 dun. Like his name, he would show up as an elite trader, and he hasn't shown up for a while. So. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I don't know if anything's gonna happen. Other than, of course, the E-mini is moving quite a bit. So I don't know, maybe it's not a holiday for the Nicey, is it? Let's see here. No, they don't. They're going to be open today. So I think it's just going to be maybe really, really slow until the equities markets open. We'll see. We can find some interesting things to look at in the meantime. Some questions about earn to trade. You know what I think we should do? I think we should make a new channel for platform. There we go. Dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. What else we got going on Twitter? Twitter working on an edit button, but with some safeguards, says Dorsey. Okay. I mean, I think that Donald Trump would be really happy about that, right? Ezra Klein says Donald Trump's weakness is policy. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't like to talk about it. He wants a fight about impeachment. He doesn't want to fight about the minimum wage. Can Democrats force one? Actually, I don't agree. I think that Donald Trump would love to talk about the minimum wage because he thinks it should be higher, as do Democrats. He probably doesn't think it should be as high as Democrats do. It's because Democrats want to force it to be up to like 15 or 20, which is just probably not going to happen. But it should be set to equal, should probably be at 10 at least. But a federal minimum wage is kind of pointless because most states have a higher minimum wage anyways. That's the place to do it, I think. Okay, well, they're still buying here. Especially in the 30-year. Slow as she goes. If we had bought at the open, we would be up 3 ticks, but I'm a little... So we're getting up to some liquidity, though, so it's a little questionable. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting when I came in this morning that that the market had moved, but I didn't see any news. Well, they're eating into that 14 already. Toy Story 4? What? Why? Is that really necessary, guys? I have seen good trading on holidays before, so it's not out of the question. So the chances are that it's gonna reverse here. With as slow as it's been. Granted, they moved like right up into this price. And they are eating it up pretty steadily, but typically when it's slow action and you get that white, they turn there. We'll see. Ballot tabulation reform. We need a system where all precinct results are secret until all are published simultaneously. We have to stop this routine of everyone but the most blue precinct reports results, and then those precincts forge enough ballots to win. Well, I don't know if that's actually what's happening, but it sounds like a good idea that all of the results should just be released at once. Like, they should, print the results, or count it, and then it should be released all at once, like the next morning or something. That would be cool. Oh, look at that. They did move down. See if they give us a good shot up here at 13.5. Okay, so it's already iceberging here at 13. I guess not. They went straight back down. They might hold here and push back up. Let's just see. I don't know if this is obviously not obviously, but when we were up there, I said, hey, it could bounce, but I don't necessarily want to just stand in front of it. So we could have taken a short there and taken it off here, but otherwise, that was the only way to play it. Because if you weren't sitting there with an order in at 13.5, shorting it when they were hitting into 140, you probably weren't going to get filled. So okay, another tick down. Now we're at the open price. That thing that we just saw there, and I think it was '09, where nobody was willing to put a better offer there at that price, and it was just blank, and the spread was actually 2 ticks for a second. I have not seen that since before I started using day trader. Oh, yeah, servicing it like earlier in the day. That makes sense. What's gonna happen? You think this is a good place to buy? It could be. I think you might get. I think you might get 100. Sorry, 10. 10 even. I see the case. And where's the bull bear zone in here? Oh, it's way down there, so it doesn't even really factor in. Too many contracts trading on both sides of this. I'm wondering if they're gonna push through a little bit more, because it's not uncommon to see a stopping point and push a little bit further. I see John's typing, but what's he typing about? Oh, we haven't got an impulse up yet. 2,000 on both sides of this now. Let's just see if we can get a fill. So I can get this bid on the profile here, and I think that I would rather have that, but I don't. At the moment, it's not moving. Y03. Okay, so it ticked up. They're not trading into. Oh, okay, they did. They traded into 11.5. So now you would have to trade 11. You wanted this. I don't know. The E-mini is kind of looking like it's going to go down again, though. They are selling it. So how desperately do I want this? Well, I think I would rather have been filled at 10.5. So, and if it comes back down, I'm not so sure. Well, it's been slow enough that if it does come down and we get filled, I think that we should have a chance to be able to get out of break even or -1. So let's just see what it does. The mini's not just gonna. Well, I mean, let's not say that mini's not or is going to do anything, but I think that it would be a little bit of a pullback. We can only hope, right? See, I'm. It's gonna be interesting if they do buy it here. If they just end up buying it straight up or what. I haven't actually gotten an impulse in ZB yet. If I get an impulse, I might buy it. I don't know. I find this thing kind of interesting too. That there was a lot of volume traded down here. But I don't know. See, if you took it here at 15 and you expected it to get to 13.5, you could still get 4 ticks. But it seems a little obvious to me, and it seems to me like I'm being pressured into buying it, like they're intentionally creating some FOMO. So that's why I'm a little skeptical about just market buy into 11.5, you know. And right here, well, so this is one thing is we had this 092 is a spot, and you could get filled right there. Maybe it's not so bad. But when it's like this, I just don't like to take a trade. I always end up being wrong when it's super slow. Ace Trades is taking short E-mini 27.72.25, chased it too far down. I have to check. By the way, if you haven't checked out the Discord, you should check out the Discord, because that would be a little bit more activity over in that chat. maybe I should have just told everybody, we're just going to chat in YouTube, but then it's just not as good as YouTube. It doesn't have as much utility. And this is kind of really more of a, how do we say, gateway drug. You know what I mean? Because usually what happens is people watch my stream, and I really appreciate the people that watch it, and then they start trading themselves, and they join the Discord, and then you're not as interested in listening to somebody else's trades, right? But I do appreciate those that enjoy it or find it useful. Oh, I wonder, are we getting... oh, you know, I don't have this open, but I'm sure that there are some Brexit highlight... blah, 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 blah. Brexit headlines out there. Okay, so the E-mini came back a little bit. I'm saying I wanted to fill higher, but couldn't get filled up higher. Oh. So you tried taking it here at 27.74, or did you get it even earlier than that? Like long before I started trading. There is a bit of buying there in the ES. This right here. They might push further down. Should put this in here. I think this inverse head and shoulders pattern in the daily chart on the E-mini certainly looks compelling. But I haven't seen something like that on the chart in a long time. And often when I see patterns like that in the daily chart, it ends up being nonsense. I don't know. I remember one time, like it was like 2008, 2009, and there was a really, really clear and relatively big head and shoulders on the E-mini. And this was like right after the bottom. So there was still a lot of people saying they were going to have a double dip recession, and that head and inverse, well, it wasn't an inverse, but that head and shoulders showing up was kind of scary. And a lot of people really thought it was going to go down, and I wasn't sure, but I felt like I should go along with the pattern because the pattern looked good. And it didn't really do it. It never really did it. And that was kind of when I decided that a pattern like that, you really need confirmation on a daily basis to take it. Like it needs to break the neckline hard for you to take that on a daily chart. So that's now two buying impulses up in the E-mini. Treasuries are not exactly reacting. And my neck is just a little tight. I had a pretty rough workout on Saturday. Yeah, look at this, a 600 lot following them up and stuff. So they're trading it. Yep. They traded right into it. They didn't go through it though.
And it is financing is 28. Sustainable approach.
Okay. So Ace says that he wanted it at 27.74. He didn't get it, and then I guess it pumped back up, and he took it there. So where did you take it from? Was it? Oh, he's short from 27.72. So I understand. So you ate that whole swing. That sucks. But he went short again at 27.75.
Monio wants to tackle.
Well, that little sell there into that order might have been enough to get it to move down a little bit, but I'm a little wary of taking. I mean, that's a real fade in the E-mini, right? And I don't. I've never noticed a real pattern to whether the E-mini reverses or continues when it eats through those big orders. The question I have is why would you put one that big like that and let it get filled, and then it just goes against you, Oh, we're getting some more people in, so we're getting some equities traders coming in now, getting ready. Good morning, everybody. I mean, if I had been sitting there with my orders still, I would probably still be 1,300 in line. There's hardly anything is traded into that 10.5. I would say, though, they're still mostly selling in treasuries. And they're mostly buying in equities, so that would seem to match up. See, they hit two big orders like that. And maybe now we move up. If they get above that 27.76, I don't know. Another tick up, and the offer's getting pulley. Let's call it pulley. The E-mini is not like turning around though. All right, 2 minutes. Okay, here we go. Okay, buyers have it. Hmm. Okay, a little bit of selling impulse. Back to balance. Okay, so we've got a range here. All right, buyers take it out pretty quickly.
EU Chief Negotiator Barnier now, who's in Brexit negotiating teams, today to detail the EU 20 parameters of clarified cabinet meeting once agreement reached. Tell the EU 27 Brexit.
Okay, Treasuries didn't really react to that buying, and now they're coming back to balance. The sellers might break it here. We'll see if Treasuries buy themselves up if they do. There is about 3K that's traded into 11.5 in the 10-year. Okay. So they did trade down, and we broke up above that. We broke through a 5K iceberg order there. Volume is equalized. It looks like those guys that went long, so I hope that Ace Trade still has that short. It took a little bit of heat on that, but I think it was ultimately right. Those guys that bought before the open just puked. Now they're really close to that low. I wonder if they're going to go for it. Normally they would be that close, but they're going to, yeah, okay. There you go. It did break it, right? I think it did. It was hard to watch, but it was so fast. It definitely did by a tick. Okay. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of absorption on every little dash down. It's like that right there. It's come down, but like 400 trade on every side of it. See that? Here they're doing it again at 27.67. Man, you guys coming up on 10 points. A good job. You get like 200 here. On my parameters, I would be maybe taking it off, but I don't know. This doesn't look done either. But I mean, just like my automatic profit would be there, right? It's like 8 or 16. I forget what I have it at now. No, I think it's 16, so it would be now more than 5 points, so it definitely would have already done it. Okay, so we're getting another bubble here. Oh, it's a multi-lot, so like, good job. So So what was the impetus to sell it there? Because I didn't really see order flow signal, right? I mean, it was early enough that it was hard to take it. So I'm just guessing, and I'm not asking for like a really detailed like specific signal, but was it more of like a market profile or multi-day kind of thing? What kind of a signal are you taking exactly? Or was order flow? Now kids off to school. Mm. Just order flow. Market usually takes a dump about then. Okay. So something about that particular time frame. Okay, well that is a potential reversal right there. Just the question is how much. I think we could see the other side of this, maybe even the other side of this. But I'm interested in it in the treasuries here. No, maybe they're going to go for another new low, huh? Could be. Yeah. Man alive. They just think the whole world is falling apart again, don't they? ZB is telling me I can take it long. They're starting to get a lot of liquidity below us in the E-mini. Hard to say where this would go. Maybe to 2760. Excuse me. So they're kind of forming a little bit of a range here, and they're threatening to go higher. Your treasuries don't seem to buy it. Okay, that step down kind of triggered a little bit of a buy there. Well, not a buy, but a little bit of level 2 fiddling. And somebody was sticking it on the level 2 there.
Reminder about 3 minutes time now.
The sellers are insistent, aren't they? Did you see it was piling around and they swept it? They swept it 2 or 3 times to get it to do that. Okay, so another new low, but still not catching buying coming into the treasuries. And still a lot of absorption on the steps down. In fact, they did not get all the way through the liquidity in the E-mini, so potential turning around. Well, we're over 3 over here now. I think if you're long here at like 11.5 or 10, you got to be frustrated because you're looking for 13.5. E-minis going down, like big time going down, and the treasuries aren't moving up. The correlation has disappeared. Huh? Hmm.
bought a net. Buying a net 484 million asset-backed security. Finally, buying a net.
Hmm. So that 120 is now weaker. They're not stacking above 3 at 12.5, but I think they will. Here's the E-mini threatening to do it again. I don't know if they're going to do it this time. Let's see. I think you would buy it right there. Okay. They went through it. Holding. Oh, it's just so close. It's going to be so close. I don't know if they're going to do it or not. Okay. Okay, there you go. There, they did do it. It was pretty weak, though. You could maybe buy that right there. Sellers are being insistent here. But it still kind of looks like the selling is not doing a how do we say, how good of a job are they doing at pushing lower? Right now, I don't think that they're doing a very good job at it. We need some more buying here, of course, but I think that push lower was a little weak. Yeah. Okay. Nope. This isn't going to work. Ah. Now they tick up. Okay, so I wanted to see how they ticked up. This didn't pull.
There's a bit of Brexit news now. A tweet from BBC's Adam Fleming saying he's being steered away from interpreting Michel Barnier's 7 ministers today as deal done, take it or leave it. Not the message he intended to send. EU officials have been saying for a few days now that the picture of the agreement is stable.
Yeah. Hmm. Seems like the mini buyers seem to see an opportunity. Okay. That didn't trigger, huh? See, why did that not trigger? I should show that to Pete. Seems like that because it got swept, it didn't actually trigger.
Comments. Schultz. Quite optimistic that budget landing state into Brexit now. Hard Brexit would when it free. Most not hard Brexit feel. That's why we're going.
Jeez, man. Hmm. One more try.
Readiness.
So buyers are attempting here and are having a lot of trouble at the top of this range. See that? Okay. That was a good one. They can keep it. Come on. Yeah. Come on, you got more in you than that, guys. Nope. That's holding here. I don't know. See, I can see something going on, but for all I know, it's just going to be another push down. I mean, the chances of that is probably that it's going to go down. Yeah. Sure enough. No, that's interesting. It's holding. If this one comes back up, it's going to be amazing. Now 37. Hey, okay. So buyers finally made the buy I was looking for. That might be where they turn though. Modest declines in iPhone shipments. The 5-year looks like it's ready to just dump. This needs to be way up here, maybe. Well, how much have we lost on it? Let's keep track here. Okay, I think right there. Well, let's not get too hasty. Now, I also have a question about, am I going to get 11 or am I going to get 10.5? Or is there even more in it? Because if the E-mini really buys, and I mean it really buys, they would have to get above the VWAP. But if they get above the VWAP, you could see a very significant decline in treasuries because it's really the E-mini is the only thing that's holding this thing up, I think. I mean, the Federal Reserve is certainly not talking dovish, right? Okay. If they bought up through here at this moment, that would be really good. Mm. Hmm. Okay, so that looks really positive. Okay, that's not pulling. So I will pull. Yes. Okay, so here's the buyer's moment of truth. Well, that's not too inspiring. Came right back to my entry there. Try switching it to 5. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Incorrectional.
What do we got above us? Hmm. They're both kind of on the edge. Like treasuries are all kind of egging to sell, thinking that the E-mini might break out here. But it hadn't quite done it, so they didn't break the 11.5 yet. They're not out of the woods yet. This could be a head and shoulders pattern right here. It looks a little suspicious to me. But if we get back to this area right here, okay. Okay. Except for that the treasuries did not go down off of that. Okay. Nope. So it's not good that it came back down here, but that was not like accelerated sell volume. It actually kind of was mostly pulling, especially through here. And the delta's not significantly changed, right? Okay. Well, they're showing some balance, some degree of balance at 12. Okay, so they're at the neckline again. Okay. That's curious.
Central Bank 9.
So at 2760, you've got some liquidity there. It'll take a little bit to get through. Okay. See, now people are stopping out.
Up to the are now. Scheiger speaking in Frankfurt, looking at the ECB Youth Dialogue, Frankfurt's finance and text of these speeches to be released.
Oh, really looked. I didn't catch that. It's still not going through there. Okay, so they tick down, and I like it, but they're not building volume at 11.5. They're going to have to sell through that size at 11, and probably the size at 10.5 too. Where did I have my order? Okay. I think that we could get, well, let's just say view up. Oh, okay. Yeah, they don't like leaving them around. Oh, wow. Oh, no, wait. That 3 was already there, right? I think it was already there. Oh, you know what? We're not talking about single prints, are we? I meant unfinished auctions, right? Okay, so I don't like... Although we are at a high volume node. And it is the bottom of that node.
5G.
They've definitely established a range here. Darn. So they didn't actually break through the bottom of that range there, though. Not yet. They may do it. Okay, if they can make it back into that range. Nope, not yet.
Picking up on a tweet now from President Trump on the prospect of presidential harassment by the Democrats with headaches.
Ah. Red Cap's gonna all buy all the stocks now. Yeah. That was a strong sell there, and it held. Yeah, ATR is expanding. I like that this went offer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, now it's a 14 tick. Okay, that's not positive. See, it's getting way too comfortable at the low. And it's staying below this too. Yeah. I put this in the wrong channel. I'm gonna delete it. It's your fault. It's your fault, President. You just couldn't keep your mouth shut. Well, yeah, I don't even pay attention to my. The E-mini is just kind of an experiment. For that one, it was. The winner was way up there. Yeah, we're gonna let it do it. This is the one that I care about. This trade in the E-mini is not. Does not have edge. Okay, just I should always warn you guys when I do that one. This trade in the E-mini does not have edge, even though I'm working on it, and I kind of see it. Like I even see it again right here. Let's see if they hold it or not. So you kind of see it. No, it's not quite going. See, it's gonna go against me. It's a work in progress. This one does not have edge. This one, I think, does have edge, but we're in a very special situation here, man. Like, it's a very, very unusual to zipper that far. Plus, you know, it was a really good buy until the president opened his mouth.
everywhere comments from US Treasury officials.
Well, whatever. I think it's funny that if somebody sees you make a trade that's not the way that they would trade it, it really irks people. Have you guys, those of you guys that have been around for a while, have you noticed that? I mean, it does for me when I'm in a trade and somebody says something about that trade. It can kind of make me mad. But I see this all the time where they're like, oh, you did this or you did this, and that was really dumb, and why did you do that? And I was like, well, it's very easy for you to say that when you're not the one making the trade, right? Now on this one, maybe I should take what I'm doing in the E-mini a little bit more seriously, because I could have taken a profit there. And when Donald Trump tweeted, I probably should have gotten out at break even at least, but or maybe moved my stop up. But that's not the one that I'm cared about. The one that I care about is getting at least break even here on this is the end trade. And since the E-mini still seems to want to sell, and it is getting close to my time period, it looks like I might not get it. Well, let's put in one at the one tick. Let's see, because we might still get that. See, the selling is slowing down again. Another thing to keep in mind is that 16 ticks in the mini is not really that much. See, on that particular trade, my stop is so close that in order to for it to work out probability wise, I need to get more than just 2 times, right? I should probably put a time limit on it too, though, because those, I'm not sure I can just hold that all day, you know. Where did it stop in the E-mini? We should look at that. Well, so it did go to one of the standard deviation spots, so that might have been where we should have gotten out at. Okay. So let's try that next time. Next time, 1 standard deviation. Okay. All right. Well, that sucks, but you know what? It's a holiday anyways, so. And I don't expect to be able to make a whole lot tomorrow either. But the CPI, we can look at that. We're going to watch that one for sure. All right. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching, those of you that are around. Probably a lot more people watch after the E-mini opens. Maybe I should take the E-mini more seriously. I don't know. I'm just not so sure that I'm ever going to get super great at it, though. Not to be like, like down on myself, but it's just the amount that it moves and the randomness of it. I would really have to do something very, very different, I think, to really be successful in the E-mini. So I can kind of see the edges and stuff, but how do I know when that's actually the spot and everything like that? And in the Treasuries, I know there's reasons why it does it, but in the E-mini, I don't know. It's kind of hard on that point, especially when you get these trends in the E-mini. Good grief! So it came up there. We caught a good winner, but it came down twice as much. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna post notes and go. So I will talk to you guys.